first stock to be analyzed is MyFC holding, and since the market is closed weekends, I spend a lot of time looking at stocks, see what happens. And MyFC holding is probably the most hyped up stock at the Swedish stock exchange at the moment. It went from 5 kroners to 14 kroners in 1 week, so almost a 200% increase. And to be honest, I didn't really know much about this company before this happened. I knew pretty much what it was, but not really what was good or what was bad about it. So I looked into it, and if it looks like I'm reading off of a screen, it's because I am. I was not able to spend really much time, so I just put down the most important things that I found. So I'm gonna pretty much tell you what I found today. And they do a power bank to cell phones. That's the core business. And basically, if you don't know what the power bank is an external power source. So if you're not at your house or in your car, so you can connect this to an external battery and it charges your phone. And what's unique about this specific power bank is they developed a technique to extract hydrogen out of water. And apparently they have all these patents protecting this technology. So this is basically what I do know about this company so far. And of course, I'm not able to evaluate the technique. I am not competent enough to do that. And I think most people who are buying and selling the stock, they are not able to evaluate either. So we don't know if this is by far the best way to do it, or if the most green way to do it. But this is what the companies they claim that it is. So already we can say if this is the best way to extract energy, then this company is on the right track. But it still wouldn't mean that it's going to be a success, because other companies could also do pretty much the same thing. Not exactly the same thing because of the patent, but pretty much the same thing. And if this is not the best way to extract energy, we find a better way, this company is in trouble. And also speaking of the power source itself, it's about 1/3 of the power compared to a normal power bank, so it's smaller. So already here I'm starting to doubt that this is the best way to go. So let's talk about some hard facts of this company. And the net turnover is really small. It's probably smaller than your local pub. It's not turning over any money at all. And the profit of last year was minus 40 million. And it's publicly traded, as I said. And the current valuation is at 300 million. So what we're buying here, we're buying hope. We're buying the potential this might be the best technology ever to be standard in all cell phones in the future. Because we don't have any profits, we don't have any turnover, we have nothing yet, we have just hope. So if that's the case, what made it go from 5 to 14 in a week? And it was two things basically. The major thing was they actually have an order now of 1,000 units, and yeah, it's still an order even if it's nothing. And they ride on the potential of selling 400,000. If everything goes well with 1,000, they might sell 400,000, and then there's another potential for 900,000, and that made this stock skyrocket. One of my worries here is this: we've spoken to the CEO of this company, and in the memo they're not using the word order, they're using like commitment, and they're trying to avoid using the word order, and that's, to me, it's a red flag. And when they ask him, is this an order, the reply is, yes, you could call it that. And this is a yes or no question, so something shady going on here. And also when asked about what's your margin of this order, the answer is we can't say, but it's positive. So even if the order goes through, we're not sure how much money they will make from this. It could be 10,000 Swedish kroner in total for the entire order. So when they say the total value of the order is 430 million, and yeah, it's probably that's the amount, the turnover amount. And people say, okay, the total value of the company is 300 million and this order is 430 million. It doesn't really work that way. It's not that easy because we don't know how much money they're making from this order. It's not really hard to turn over a lot of money. You have to have a good bottom line as well. The other thing that made the stock go up was another memo when actually the headline of the memo was successful integration with iPhone and Samsung. And then they made their own video showing how you could connect an iPhone and a Samsung to this power source. Of course you can do that. If it's a working power bank, you can connect it to any phone you want. So this is nothing new, and from the formulation of this memo, it sounded like this was something, this was a cooperation with iPhone. And if you're a supplier of something to an iPhone or to a cell phone and you use the name iPhone, people will buy, because iPhone, they're so big, and Samsung, they're so big. So if it looks like you're in business with iPhone or Samsung, your stock will go up. So to me, this is also kind of misleading. And people are comparing this company to Fingerprint. And I think this is not fair, because Fingerprint, what you should remember, Fingerprint, first it went up, when everybody says, okay, fingerprints will be the new standard. All devices will have a fingerprint sensor. Yeah, sure. And then the company went up, and then it went down, and then it went down, and then it went down, all the way down to almost nothing, and the company could have gone broke. And then they proved that we are actually the ones making the best fingerprint sensor, and then the company went up. So even if this is a new standard, this is going to be the very best thing there is, and it's going to be integrated in all devices, this company still have to prove that they are the ones making it the best way. So I would rather compare this to another Swedish company called Anoto, where they're not doing so well. And all the followers of the company and the stockholders and shareholders, they say this is going to be the new standard, but at least you have to have some kind of sales. You have to have a track record to be able to claim these things. And as far as you don't, you're just buying the dream, you're just hoping. And my conclusion to this, I personally would not buy a power bank with 1/3 of the power as I could buy for 100 kroners in any store. If I were to buy a power bank and buy the one with the most power in it, I wouldn't buy this one. I am not able to evaluate if this is going to be the next standard in power banks or if solar panels are better. I don't know. And I also know that the value of the stock right now is brought up by this potential order that's not really an order but a commitment. And if this fails, the stock will crash. I promise you this. So I'm not buying. I'd rather be shorting this. And if you are a stockholder on this one, be careful. This is my conclusion.